Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my live videos, and on this video I am going to be giving you my match reaction for the Liverpool-West Ham game. Liverpool come from behind to beat West Ham yesterday night at Anfield. They did win by 3 goals to 2, and that is a very good win for Liverpool. It wasn't their best performance by all means, but all that matters is from their perspective they have taken a step closer to winning the Premier League title and that. From a West Ham perspective, they'll, be very disappointed, because, West Ham could have become only the second team this season to take any points from Liverpool because they were winning the game at 1 point. And take into account West Ham are a small club, they've obviously, got a lot of problems with their management, the way their club's being run, and they've also got problems with their board of West Ham. But I expected, Liverpool to win like maybe 3 or 4-0, but West Ham, did do well to get 2 goals in the game. So, obviously, I read some of the stats and I did watch some of the highlights of the game yesterday night. To be fair, Liverpool did create a lot of chances in the game. I think Liverpool created around 24 chances and they had a total of 25 shots in the game. West Ham didn't really create much, they only created around 7 chances, did West Ham, and I think they had a total of 7 shots in the game. It was an exhilarating game, though, to be fair. I thought, the good performance for Liverpool, I thought Trent Alexander-Arnold, had a really, really good game for Liverpool. I think he created the most chances in the game, if I'm right, did Trent Alexander-Arnold. Also threaded a lot of good crosses in. Also got an assist in the game, did Trent Alexander-Arnold, so I thought he was phenomenal for Liverpool. I thought Andrew Robertson had a really, really good game. I think he made quite a few good interceptions for Liverpool, did Andrew Robertson. Also created some chances of his own. I thought Virgil van Dijk had a really, really good game. Me was at fault loads for West Ham's second goal, but prior to that had a really, really good game, did Virgil van Dijk. I thought Fabinho did well for them in the midfield. Salah, enjoyed a really, really good game, to be fair. He also got his name on the score sheet. Also had a couple of other chances where he could have scored. Mane also had a really, really good game for Liverpool. West Ham, I thought Issa Diop, played very, very well for West Ham, to be fair. Thought he showed good attacking intent, he defensively did well at times. Declan Rice also didn't enjoy a bad game for West Ham. I don't think Mikel Antonio was too bad, you know, you know. So yeah, so now we'll delve into the goals. So the first goal was from Jorginho Wijnaldum after 9 minutes. It was Trent Alexander, like I mentioned, who got the assist. Lovely Freddie cross, by the way, from Trent Alexander. Finds Wijnaldum, and that's 1-0 to Liverpool. Then 3 minutes later, West Ham equalise through Issa Diop. It came from the set piece. It was from the corner. Robert Snodgrass had got the assist, and that was 1-1 then. Liverpool, of course, had then brought Oxlade-Chamberlain on. That was their first substitution they made of the game. And then surprisingly, in the second half, West Ham went 2-1 ahead, through Pablo Fornals. He came off the bench, to score West Ham's second goal. It was Declan Rice that got the assist. And like I mentioned, Virgil van Dijk was at fault for their second goal. And then maybe Liverpool fans at that point were thinking, Liverpool were going to, that West Ham were going to end their unbeaten run. And then just then, Salah, equalises and makes it 2-2. Andrew Robertson had got the assist for Salah's second goal. You can say Fabianski was at fault, for that, because Fabianski should have really done better with that. And then Sadio Mane had scored the winner. He scored into an empty net, and that was 3-2. And Sadio Mane also had a goal disallowed near the end. But VAR did intervene for that. I don't know if it was a correct decision. I didn't actually see the disallowed goal. West Ham, of course, also brought Sebastian Haller on. They also brought Jared Bowen on, their new signing. I think that's the first signing they made under David Moyes, but he made an impact, when he came on. So yeah, Liverpool, do extend now their unbeaten run to 44 in the Premier League. They have not lost at Anfield now for almost 3 years. And, West Ham could have been the first team as well. Not only to end their unbeaten run, they could have been the first team to beat them at Anfield for almost 3 years, is it, in the Premier League. And, Liverpool have registered now 79 points from 27 Premier League games. And, I think they've registered as many points as our, 1999 treble winning team of Liverpool. So Liverpool, of course, are breaking records. They are definitely breaking records in that. But it wasn't their best performance by all means. But they still did get the win. Did Liverpool, and Liverpool now only need 4 wins out their 11 remaining games, to clinch their first ever Premier League title. Of course, they are going to end their 30-year drought. When they do win the Premier League this season, with their first Premier League, like I mentioned, it will be their 19th overall because they've won 18 all first divisions at the moment. When they do win the 19th, that means in that aspect they'll be one behind us, because we're on 20 titles and we are the most successful team in England historically, reflect on the amount of titles we've won. But in terms of Premier Leagues, Liverpool will still be 12 behind us, because we've won 13 Premier League titles. And obviously it will be Liverpool's 4th major honour under Jurgen Klopp. They've already won 3 major honours this season. They won the FIFA Club World Cup earlier on in the season. They won the Super Cup earlier on in the season. And they won, the Champions League at the end of last season against Tottenham. Liverpool, of course, are still in the Champions League. The Champions League is not a priority for Liverpool. Obviously, they've got Atletico Madrid, I think, on the 11th of March. That is the second leg. Of course, Liverpool are 1-0 down from the first leg against Atletico Madrid. And, they haven't performed well recently. Liverpool, they haven't been playing to their potential best. They weren't so good against Atletico Madrid. Don't forget they didn't register one single shot on target against Atletico Madrid. But that was the only second time under the Jurgen Klopp era that, they failed to register a single shot on target in like the 250-odd games that Jurgen Klopp has managed. Jurgen Klopp's been a long-serving manager now at Liverpool. He's now into his 5th season with Liverpool. But Atletico Madrid's goal was very fortuitous anyway in that game. Niguez's goal was very fortuitous. It was a mistake from Fabinho that allowed, Saul Niguez in. And, Atletico Madrid are a very, very poor team now from my own perception, since Griezmann's left and obviously, since Diego Godin's left. He was a long-serving player at Atletico Madrid. Diego Simeone's enjoyed an 8.5-year tenure with Atletico Madrid, and taking into account Atletico Madrid have had quite a few injuries. Felix has been out, Hector Herrera, Kieran Trippier, Morata and Diego Costa have just come back for Atletico Madrid. So, I don't see them getting anything at Anfield, Atletico Madrid, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. But, Liverpool would still like to win the Champions League. They've got a good pedigree in the Champions League. Liverpool, out of the English clubs, have won the most Champions Leagues. They have won 6 Champions Leagues of Liverpool. Like I mentioned, they won it last season. They progressed to the final the season before, but lost to Real Madrid 3-1. Liverpool, of course, are in the FA Cup. Still, they did progress to the 5th round for the first time under Jurgen Klopp. But the FA Cup isn't really a priority for Liverpool. It's more than likely they'll go out against Chelsea in the next round. Take into account, though, Liverpool haven't won the FA Cup since 2006, which is around 14 years ago now. But it'll be interesting to see how Jurgen Klopp approaches that game, against Chelsea. I think he'll play some inexperienced players. He'll also play some of the first teamers. He would probably more or less play a similar team as he did do against Shrewsbury in Liverpool's first game against Shrewsbury, obviously, before it went to a replay and that. But more than likely, Liverpool will go out. But obviously, of course, Liverpool are focusing on the league. They are now 22 points clear of Manchester City. Liverpool 22 points clear of Manchester City. For West Ham, they're facing a relegation battle. Realistically, West Ham could go down this season. I think, like I mentioned on my preview to the Liverpool-West Ham game, I think West Ham did make a mistake by getting rid of, Manuel Pellegrini. I feel as though, from my own perception, West Ham didn't give Manuel Pellegrini long enough. They only gave him, was it just over the year, was it? And taking into account Pellegrini won the title when he was at Manchester City, and he also made a mistake by recommending David Moyes back in. This is now his second spell as West Ham manager, and his record has been disastrous since he's taken over at West Ham again. And, David Moyes hasn't got a proven pedigree. He hasn't won out in terms of silverware. I think the only club he's done well at was Everton when he enjoyed that 10, 11 years. He enjoyed a 10 or 11 year tenure, was it, with Everton or something like that. But was a long-serving manager for them. But his record at Sociedad was poor, his record at Sunderland was poor, his record for us was very, very poor, when he enjoyed that 9 or 10 months with Man United. But Ferguson was at fault for ever recommending him in the first place. But, West Ham have got a lot of problems and, they need to see a lot of changes at their club. I think they need new ownership. They need a new board, because you saw the West Ham fans protesting yesterday. They also need a new manager. Probably, they need to try and recruit more players in this summer, do West Ham. But they have got a lot of problems. But taking into account they've had a lot of injuries this season. They've had Ryan Fredericks out, Yarmolenko, Jack Wilshere, Fabianski's just come back for them. Philippe Anderson's just come back for them. Snodgrass has just come back for them. So they have had a lot of injuries at West Ham. So yeah, and Liverpool, Liverpool's next Premier League game is away to Watford at the weekend. And I presume that's going to be another Liverpool win. Watford are another team that are facing relegation. I did say, didn't I, they've slightly improved under Nigel Pearson, but not much. They've only won one of their last 6 Premier League games of Watford. And I can see Liverpool beating them because Liverpool have got a fantastic record against Watford anywhere. Beating them earlier on in the season 2-0 at Anfield. Beating them the last time they played them at Vicarage Road. Liverpool did beat them by 3-0. So I can see Liverpool extending their unbeaten run to 45 in the Premier League and that. Liverpool have still got City to play this season at the Etihad, which will be a tough game for them. City are the last team to beat Liverpool in the Premier League. They've still got Arsenal, I think, to play away at the Emirates. They've still got Chelsea to play in the Premier League and that. But, Liverpool, honest to God, I think they could become the Invincibles this season, could Liverpool. They could become the Invincibles. And the only team to go undefeated in the Premier League era at the moment is Arsenal. And, of course, Arsenal did do that back in 2004, which was 16 years ago. So, from an Arsenal perspective, they'll be hopeful that, Liverpool, don't replicate, what they did. But I think Liverpool can definitely, do it. They can become the second team to go undefeated in the Premier League era. I definitely can assure Liverpool will finish on 100 points this season. Minimum 100 points, probably more than 100 points. So in that aspect, they are going to break Manchester City's record, from a couple of years ago and that. They are going to do this at Liverpool. And take into account as well, Liverpool have had a lot of injuries this season. But it hasn't affected them in a bad way because Liverpool have got good cover-ups, when they do obviously, get injuries. But like I mentioned before, a lot of teams have been poor in the Premier League this season. This is one of the main explanations why Liverpool have blitzed the league, But look at the other teams that have had injuries and it's had a bad effect on, City have had injuries. They haven't been nowhere near as good this season as there was in the past 2 seasons. They've had Sane out for the vast majority of the season. Raheem Sterling's just recently got injured not too long ago. We've had Rashford out. He could be out for the rest of the season. Could Rashford, like Solskjaer, confirm? We've got Pogba out. McTominay's just come back for us. We had Martial out injured early on in the season. Bay's just come back for us. I think we've still got Tuanzebe out. So injuries can have a bad effect on your team, but it doesn't seem to do it with Liverpool. Same with Tottenham. They've got Kane and Heung-min-Son out. They're nothing without them. So it just shows you've done it. Arsenal have also had injuries this season. Chelsea have had injuries as well. Kante, Pulisic, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Tammy Abraham's just come back not too long ago and that. Ruben Loftus-Cheek just come back for them. So injuries can have a bad effect on your team, but it hasn't done that with Liverpool because Liverpool have just, their most recent absentee, I think, is James Milner, because it did confirm before the game yesterday night that James Milner had sustained a muscle problem. Was it during training or something like that? Jordan Henderson, of course, came off injured in Liverpool's 1-0 defeat to Atletico Madrid. He's out until March. You can say Liverpool did miss him yesterday. Jordan Henderson's enjoyed a very, very good season, to be fair, for Liverpool. He's the recent absentee. Klein and Shaqiri is still out for them. But the players that have just come back for Liverpool, Fabinho come back not too long ago. Chamberlain's just come back not too long ago. So too was Dejan Lovren, Joe Matip, Sadio Mane just recently come back. James Milner did initially come back, but now he's got another muscle problem. Don't know how severe the injury is in that. But, Liverpool have had a lot of injuries this season, definitely in that. And my perceptions on Jurgen Klopp, I think he's a very, very good manager, is Jurgen Klopp. His philosophy is right for Liverpool Football Club. Liverpool do create chances to score good goals, they play expansive football, and they play as a unit and they play as a team. Like I mentioned, Liverpool have spent around £460 million on recruiting new players in since Jurgen Klopp got recommended in back in 2015. And, Liverpool have spent nowhere near to the extent of what Man City have spent and, what my club, Man United, have spent and that. And that just indicates out, doesn't it? It just shows always spending big on players and getting them Galactico players doesn't always guarantee you success. And it's been proven, basically, in that. But of course, Liverpool are making plans for the summer transfer window. Of course, they are going to want to make signings in the summer, are Liverpool. And on the other hand as well, I think, they are going to get rid of players, are Liverpool. But I don't think Liverpool are one-season wonders, honestly. I don't. I think Liverpool are going to win the league for at least the next couple of years. I do believe they are going to dominate English football at least for the next 10 years, are Liverpool, definitely in that. And no one can stop them at the moment. No one can stop them. And I think, Jurgen Klopp is the best manager Liverpool have had in this generation. Don't forget, Jurgen Klopp has got a contract with Liverpool until 2024. He extended his contract earlier on in the season. I think minimum he will see out his contract. But when he does eventually leave Liverpool, it's more than likely he will go back to Germany. And then Liverpool may even consider, recommending Steven Gerrard in. Steven Gerrard is obviously, a former Liverpool player, ended his career with Liverpool. Obviously, he's doing really, really well now at Rangers, so take that into account. But yeah, they've had a lot of good managers up and down the generations of Liverpool. I thought Rodgers enjoyed one good season with Liverpool. Obviously, they had Dalglish and Roy Hodgson. They weren't good managers, but Dalglish was a good player. They had Benitez, who won the Champions League under. They had Gerard Houllier, they had Bill Shankly in the 60s, who did quite well. I think it was the 60s. They also had Bob Paisley in that. So Liverpool have had a lot of good managers over the years. They've also had a lot of good players over the years of Liverpool. But I've got to say, probably, this is the best Liverpool team I've seen in Premier League history. It's the best team I've seen overall since, we had the likes of Ronaldo, Tevez and Rooney back in, 2009 and that. And Liverpool are just so dominant now. But I hate to say it, because I am a Manchester United fan, as you all know. I am a Manchester United fan, as you all know, and that. But, Liverpool have come close on quite a few occasions to winning the Premier League, they nearly won it last season. They finished on 97 points. Yes, they did. Obviously they came close under the Brendan Rodgers era to winning it. I think they came close under the Rafa Benitez era and that. But, Liverpool are a big club. They always have been a big club, even before, they had Jurgen Klopp in. Manchester United and Liverpool are the two most successful clubs in history. Definitely in that. And, I think Liverpool are going to definitely make signings in the summer. Of course, Liverpool did sign Takumi Minamino in January from Red Bull Salzburg. Probably more than likely he'll get, more opportunities going on into next season for Liverpool with Minamino. He does get his opportunities, to be fair, in the cup games. The players that Liverpool have been linked with, obviously, they've been linked with the likes of Timo Werner. They've been relentlessly linked with him. He'd probably cost Liverpool around 50 or 60 million. I think his release clause is around 50 million pounds. But Timo Werner, wouldn't be guaranteed to get he wouldn't be guaranteed to get in the team week in, week out, would Timo Werner? Because obviously Liverpool have got Salah, Firmino and Mane as their attacking trio. Unless, they did sell one of them, that's the only way Timo Werner would get into Liverpool's team. So he's one player on Liverpool's agenda. Of course, they've been in for Jadon Sancho. Again, same perception on him of what I've got of Werner. He wouldn't get in Liverpool's team unless they saw one of their attacking trio. And Jadon Sancho, would cost Liverpool at least £100 million because that's what Borussia Dortmund do want for the player. Obviously, they've been in for Kai Havertz. Don't forget, my perception is different on Kai Havertz because I think Liverpool are going to get rid of a couple of their midfielders this summer. So they'll be able to get Kai Havertz, be able to give Kai Havertz a chance. But it's just a prime example, if Liverpool were to get them three players in the summer, that'd cost them around £260 million. And I think for Liverpool to do that, they'd have to sell some of their players anyway, generate some funds to obviously, pay that amount for them three players. But I do believe the players Liverpool will get rid of this summer. I think they'll definitely get rid of Nathaniel Klein, very injury prone, doesn't get in the team anywhere because Trent Alexander-Arnold is first choice. So they'll definitely get rid of Nathaniel Klein. I think they'll get rid of Dejan Lovren. He's one of their backup centre-halves. Liverpool have got a lot of centre-halves in their team. But you can say he's a good backup to Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk. Dejan Lovren, I think, has been very, very inconsistent for Liverpool, to be fair. I think they'll also get rid of Adam Lallana. I think he'll leave on a free transfer at the end of the season. I think Newcastle have been in for him recently. Arsenal have. He hasn't been a bad player for Liverpool. He just doesn't get in the team enough. Naby Keita, he does sometimes play, but he's still not first choice. He could be moved on in the future, could Naby Keita, but not in the summer. I think they'll move Origi on, they'll move Shaqiri on, because, they're not getting regular game time, are they? Their backups are Origi and Shaqiri. Shaqiri is currently out with injury at the moment. Joel Matip is another backup centre-half for Liverpool. I think they'll move him on in the future. Joel Matip is like Lindelof at Manchester United in a way, isn't he? He's nowhere near on Virgil van Dijk's level. So yeah, they will move players on in the summer, will Liverpool definitely. But like I mentioned, Liverpool have got the best goalkeeper in the world through Alisson. They've got the best centre-half in the world through Virgil van Dijk. Virgil van Dijk is Liverpool's most expensive signing. They paid £75 million for Virgil van Dijk in Liverpool. And I give you the news, didn't I, regarding Van Dijk yesterday. Paul Ince was coming out, and Paul Ince tends to be very, very close to Liverpool. Obviously, he was coming out saying, I don't have a lot of belief in it, what he's saying, but he said that Liverpool could struggle to keep Van Dijk despite Liverpool's dominance. And, he's been an instrumental to their success as Virgil van Dijk since his arrival from Southampton back in January 2018. And reported Liverpool have been warned he could join Barcelona or Real Madrid this summer, but I'm very sceptical that will happen because there's no explanations whatsoever why Virgil van Dijk would want to leave Liverpool. Yesterday was his 79th appearance in the Premier League. He's still got 3 years left on his contract as Virgil van Dijk. Last season I think he won the PFA Player of the Year and the Premier League Player of the Season, reflecting on his good run of performances in that. And even if Liverpool were determined to sell Van Dijk, they'd definitely get at minimum double than what they paid for him. They did pay 75 million, but I think they could get at least 150 million, maybe even more. They'd probably get that if they were to sell him in the next 2 years' time, to be fair. They've got the best fullbacks in the world. Trent Alexander-Arnold, very, very good up until this point. Spent the entirety of his career with Liverpool. Also, Andrew Robertson, they paid only £3 million for him. And now, in this day and age, in this market, he'd be worth quadruple that. Maybe even more than that, to be fair. Salah, 30-odd million. If Liverpool were to sell him in the next 2 years' time, they'd still get more than the 30-odd million they paid for him. Same with Mane and same with Firmino. Salah had a good game yesterday, but he hasn't been great this season. He hasn't really had that clinical element as Salah. But I do believe he's still a world-class player. I think Mane and Firmino have been in much better form than him. I don't think they're better players, but I think this season they have been in better form than Mohamed Salah, to be quite honest with you. So Liverpool, do continue. And Liverpool have only lost 3 games this season in all competitions. They lost to Villa, didn't they, in the Carabao Cup, Atletico Madrid, and Napoli in the Champions League group stage and that. So so that's match reaction for the Liverpool West Ham game. More videos will be coming up very, very soon on my channel. I was going to do the reaction yesterday, but I didn't really have time. I actually did fall asleep and that. So like I mentioned, Liverpool have got a fantastic team. Do you think it's as good as our team, that we had in 1999, like I mentioned, because we had a great team back in 1999 and that. And so there's nothing much really more to say. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribing as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching, guys.